Hello there, everyone, and welcome back to another Craft Your Life podcast. We're so excited you're here, and we're so excited to introduce today's special guest, Lydia Evans. Thank you for joining us, Lydia.
Thank you, Bridget. It's been a while, but it's not going to be for long because we will see each other very
I know. And that's the whole, the excitement. Because as you may know, I know we have a lot of loyal podcast listeners out there. Lydia's been here before. Lydia's come on and she's talked a lot about her history with crafting and her work with Altenew. And there's been some fun. There's some bloopers out there. There's a new YouTube video talking about some funny moments. And of course, there was one.
It definitely is. Yeah, we have a lot of bloopers. Me and Jen mostly, but there's a few
there
out
could
there.
Probably be a whole show just on bloopers would be my guess, because there's, there are a lot of good ones out there that are pretty funny. So that's, I think the fun of this podcast is that people can be themselves and just have fun and have a lovely chat like you're over at a dear friend's house. And that's awesome because it means you're comfortable enough to have some bloopers. So that's really great.
And we are friends anyway, Bridget. Yes. So we're just not in the right house at the minute. Although we did have an echo problem before and it did sound like we were in the right house. But other than that, until next week, we won't be in the same room together.
And that was Lydia's in my house. But yeah, it is. It's just like having a friend over for tea and you laugh and you joke, and so I think that's the great thing about the podcast is they're super chill. It's a super chill vibe. I know folks that come on get really nervous beforehand because you kind of don't know what to expect if you've never done it. But overall, I think it's a really chill vibe and just kind of mellow, which does tend to lead to some extra laughs and a few bloopers along the way.
Yeah, I mean, it is super comfortable. I don't know about you, Bridget, but top half I may be dressed, bottom half pajamas. So, yeah.
I had the crafty bun before we came on live, so yeah, it's very comfortable. Although it is toasty here, so if my glasses fog up, it's what we won't do for the podcast. So yeah, you can see I'm fogging up a little bit, but that's okay. We have crafty business to discuss. That's most important of all. Speaking of crafty business and speaking of going to see you soon, yes, I do get the privilege to meet Lydia in person after a few years, which is very exciting, at the wonderful Lemonade in-person party in Syracuse, which is very exciting. And that's what we wanted to chat with you today and kind of get your takes on the in-person retreat. Are you excited to meet folks in person again?
Yes, I am. I think I will be more excited once the plane part is over because I am highly nervous about the plane part, the airport part. But if I could just get rid of that part, I would be very, very excited. But it's just that part in the middle that's kind of just making me pull back a little bit. But as soon as that's over, I'm sure I'll be a lot more excited than I am now. But I am pretty excited to see everyone. It's going to be really cool. It's been years. I don't know how many years since I've been over there and it's to New York. But as a in-person workshop, again, that's been even longer, I think.
So the flying, is it the length of time or is it the plane or is it missing the plane or is it a combo?
Right. I'm not sure if everyone's heard this story, but it's not the plane. It's not the amount of time it takes. It's the switchover in JFK. All right. So when we did this last time, me and Will quite happily got on the plane at Manchester Airport. We got on the plane. We did the 7 hours. We got off the plane. We went through customs and stuff through JFK. We picked up our bags. We went to get the other plane because obviously we need to get another plane to Syracuse. It was cancelled. So me being the emotional wreck that I am, broke down, and Will was then in charge to decide what was happening. So we decided that we were going to get the flight the next day. So obviously we would miss a day of the retreat, but we would get there. So we ended up staying in New York for that night. We did go around and see some things, but you know, when you're that het up, you don't really take in what you're doing. But then the next day we went to get the flight again, cancelled again. So it was like, oh, okay then. I'm at no use at this point. So I'm just like a blubbering mess in the corner, and Will's like, right, what we do? So in the end, what we had to do is we had to get a bus from New York to Syracuse, and that took 8 hours. I was literally at the retreat last time for 2 nights and 1 day.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. And then on the way back, obviously there was the flight there that we could get back, but I was like, I'm getting on that bus because I knew that bus would get there, and I wasn't too sure on the plane schedule, right? So me and Will got on the bus, and obviously we were on that bus for 6 hours, and that plane was still going. On that 6th hour, it had been cancelled.
Right. Gut feeling.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I was on that bus feeling pretty smug that I got on that bus so I could get my plane home. So that is why I have a little bit of anxiety about the second flight. But fingers crossed, toes crossed, everything crossed. Everyone needs to have everything crossed that second flight is going to happen. But that's where the anxiety is.
Yeah, so I'm like you when I meet with airline fraught. I left in the middle of a storm to go to Tucson. And so my first flight, they board us. We're all happy. We're on the flight. We're getting out ahead of the storm. And the pilot comes on. He's like, yeah, got mechanical failure. We're going to have to deplane. And you're like, okay, this isn't going to be good. Because like the storms are coming and you're just letting off 150 people that all have to get somewhere and they don't have plane. So I was on 12 different flights that day. So, and they kept getting canceled because of the storm. So there were numerous times I was at the airline literally bawling my eyes out. I'm like, my car is literally an hour from here. Like, should I just go get in it and go home? Like, do I wave the white flag? So yeah, if you can take the terror of canceled flights out, it's not bad. Travel's great.
No, totally fine. Doesn't bother me whatsoever. That is probably the worst one that I've had. The other one was like you. I was in Frankfurt. We were at the Creative World show over there, and we were coming home. And in the UK, it doesn't really snow that often, right? So when it snows, even if we get an inch, it's all battle stations because people don't know what to do. So there had been snow in the UK when we were coming back. I was on the plane, everything customs, got on the plane. I was like, I'm going home, going to see my babies. So I was on the home stretch. And then they did there's actually snow on the runway on the other side, and we're not going to be able to pop. And then when you get off the plane, you have to go through customs all again, right? So I was just crying. They're just patting me down. I'm just everywhere. Ugly cry. And they were just like, yeah, just kept moving me along. just wanted to go home. I'm such a homebody. I'm really bad. My best mate, she's like, right, we need to book to go out sometime, but you need to book it in advance. Because I'm just like, I don't know if I want to get out my pajamas on that day. And I may have already got dressed that week. So there's times when she just comes around in the pajamas because she's like, yeah, I know I'm going to be all right.
I was going to say, maybe it'd be better to surprise you. That way you don't know it's coming. So you're like, oh, all right, I get you're here.
I have to get personal.
Kind of, I guess, it would be okay. I do want to meet a beautiful crier because I feel like I'm an ugly crier too. And I don't know that I've ever seen somebody crying and I'm like, oh my gosh, they look so beautiful. So I don't know if is that like one of those, what's that called?
I think it's one that you get on Instagram, right? Where they just put a teardrop on and it just goes, maybe that's
beautiful makeup.
Crier,
yeah, maybe that's, I am not. I definitely am at the other end of that spectrum on the crying. So, but hopefully no tears, hopefully happiness, get to the hotel. And what do you love most about teaching in person?
It's obviously going to be the people part, right? Even though I say I'm a homebody, I still like to interact with people and hug people. I am a hugger. I was going to say like I'm a high level introvert. So if I know people, I am out there. If there's a huge group of people and I know each and every single one of them, I'm fine. If I feel comfortable, great. If I'm like go shopping and there's loads of people there, I'm a little bit like, I could have done this online. So that's the kind of thing I think about. But yeah, the people, I'm just so excited to actually just interact and see people actually not behind a screen. Because, me and you, we do a lot of like live sessions and like virtual workshops things. I don't tend to do much of those anymore. But the live, I'm just talking to a video camera and I'm talking to a microphone. I'm looking over there as if it's going to tell me what it is. It's not. But I'm obviously talking to those. I can see little emoji faces on the screen that I have next to me. But that is all the kind of human connection I've got when I'm doing this. And it's nice to see those little emojis because you think, oh, I've seen that little emoji before. And you get to know people that are there. But it's not the same as a person that you can touch and feel and with permission, because you don't do that without permission. But, just have them there and actually be able to talk. And I don't know, it's different. It's going to be a lot different. And yeah, it's going to be good.
I mean, I know it's exciting. It's like when you say you see the comments in the chat and, somebody will mention something, you get really excited. And so I'm glad you say talking to the video camera because I always say talking to myself. So at least if the video camera, I'm talking to something else besides me. So, but I think it's fun when you're live because you get so much more excited because they're there. You get to put a face with a name and you get to hear their voice. You get to hear what they sound like because you don't always, get to do that. A lot of times we just see chat messages and that's it. So you don't know what they sound like or look like or anything. So it's exciting.
It is really exciting. I'm so excited. I just getting there. Once I'm there, that'll be it. I'll be like a firecracker or whatever they are. I don't know what a firecracker is. I think it's like a firework.
I think
right?
so.
Okay.
That's what I've always assumed, but I don't know. We don't do well with sayings and meanings. We can't name inanimate objects.
Like a bottle of pop,
yes.
Right? When you shake it.
I think so, because you always see the picture like it's broken in half. Like that's the firecracker. So yeah, I think that's what that means. Yes. And the other thing that's fun about in person is that you get to see how excited they get when they open the package and they see everything in there and they're creating their project. And maybe they're working on a technique that you're teaching that wasn't something that's really something they consider a strong skill for them. And they get it. They just get it that day. It works. It aligns. And you just get to see the excitement in their faces. And I think that's the fun of virtual.
As a company as well, we send a lot of packages to people, right? We don't get to see the excitement when they open that package, right? So we get the excitement of packing it and knowing that they're going to be happy to get this package, but we don't actually see the excitement and stuff. We sometimes see what they make with it, but it's going to be exciting to see, you know, them touch and see the things that they have, which is good.
Yes, and it's fun to see people open packages. It's going to be like Christmas with a bunch of people. It's going to be just so exciting because, it's something they really want because it's crafting goodies from Altenew. So it's all exciting, to see their faces. And what's in this package is absolutely phenomenal. So yeah, I can't wait to see people's faces as they're actually able to put their hands on it. Because again, seeing it, a picture of it is one thing, but actually being able to take it out and hold the stamp set in your hands and be like, whoa.
And smell it.
Smell it. Yes. And they do. Some people are like, what do you mean smell the stamp set? And it's like, no, they smell really good.
Oh yeah, I'm a sniffer. I love to sniff a good old stamp set. So, especially when you have a package, but you've got a load of stamps in there, when you open it up, it kind of just hits you. So
it's a terrific smell. Yes, because when you open that tissue paper, especially because it kind of holds in the stamp smelly goodness, you open it and it's like, it just wafts out.
Yep. The aroma of photopolymer. We're going to bottle it.
It's delightful. It's one of the best smells as a crafter that you can absolutely have. Now, do you have a favorite in the kit? Do you have a favorite item?
So, for the lemonade party, there is some really goodies in that. And I don't know, I've probably told people before, but I love a lemon. So, when I found the amount of lemons in there, I was so happy. I love yellow. Apart from, like, teal colors, like the Volcano Lake, yellow is my second favorite color. It's just a happy color, and a lemon is a happy color. So, I can't remember which one it's called, but there's a layering stencil in that has some big lemons.
Yes.
I'm going to tap myself on the back, but I've done something really nice with that one for the class. So I'm excited to do that one.
That was the first thing I saw, and I was like, whoa. Like, that stencil set. Ink blending right now is kind of where I'm at. Like, so I'm just living with the ink blending, and yeah. Where are you living? Are you still, because you've always seemed to dabble. You seem to be an excellent dabbler where you don't have like a technique of the moment. But do you feel like you have a technique of the moment?
See, I don't. I'll just sit into that one and then I'll go into that one. I'm fickle, really fickle. I don't tend to stay with something very often. But then there's times where you do get on a roll with something, right? Especially when you're creating with one thing and you think, oh, I could do that with it. Yes. And then I did go through a stage of ink blending like sunrise skies with the same colors because they were just pretty. And I've used those colors again and again. So there's kind of things that I stick with, but it's not necessarily a technique. It's just like if I'm doing that technique, I'll always use that color. Or if I'm doing something like making that kind of card, I'll always use that kind of set. But I don't think on the techniques I do tend to stick to one. I don't know. Maybe I do. Maybe people need to tell me, like, stop doing that. Maybe I've got to that point where I don't realize I'm doing it anymore, like a habit. You never know.
I don't know. I personally, and we can have, folks let us know, and maybe at the retreat you can let Lydia know. I see her as a dabbler. I really do. You seem to be extremely well-rounded in your technique selection. Like you never do the same thing twice. You're kind of here, you're kind of there. You never know what's coming, which is exciting. So, I think you're the dabbler.
Thank you. I'm going to take it. I'm taking that one. Thanks, Bridget.
Now, do you overpack, say, for whether... Are you an overpacker? I guess we'll lead with that question first. And then I do have a follow-up question to that.
Okay, so normally, yes, but only because I have strict rules for that.
Oh.
Okay? I know. So when we go on holiday, which you guys called a vacation, we always have 2 or 3 suitcases. And I always split half of each person's stuff into each of the cases because I'm scared that one of these cases is going to go missing. So I'm a splitter. I do that. I also have a list of like, okay, so we need this many nighttime outfits. We need this many daytime outfits. We need this many swimsuits and stuff like that. But I do say that each daytime outfit and each nighttime outfit goes for 2 days. So technically I'm only packing for a week when we go for 2. But then I'll still sneak extra things in just in case. So I'm not really an overpacker because obviously I've only packed for a week instead of 2. But then I go over my threshold by sneaking things in. And I do it sneakily, and I shouldn't even because I'm only sneaking it in myself and I'm doing it. It's me. It's not as if my husband's going, oh, well, that shouldn't be in there. So I don't know. It's just, yeah, I cheat myself.
You sound very organized.
So yeah, I have to have a list or I panic. And then what I do sometimes is I pack like weeks in advance and then I'll think, oh, did I pack everything? And then I have to get everything out again and then go through my list again. So this time round, we actually leave on Tuesday and it's Friday today, right? I haven't even thought about what bag I'm taking. So there's like the scale where she'll do it really, really far in advance. And then actually I'll just leave it till Tuesday. We're getting on the plane Tuesday, but yeah, I'll do it in the morning. That's where we are.
There'll be a flying of clothes. Hoping some goes into the suitcase. But see, your method is good because this way you don't end up with like an artichoke instead of a hairbrush. Like you're organized, you know what's in there. You know, that's a good thing. So that's really good. The follow-up was, how are you with craft supplies? Do you overpack more craft supplies or more like clothes?
Okay, so I don't know what I'm going to bring this time around. I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to, use things that are there instead of having to take stuff. So then I can take an extra pair of shoes. Because again, scared about that like crossover on the plane. I want to take everything in hand luggage so I don't have to worry about running around after that. So that is the plan, hand luggage. But it may turn into a case. We don't know at this point. So I don't tend to pack craft stuff. I know. I'm one of those crafters that, I would rather take my like tablet and do drawings for, stamp sets and things like that. Or I'm a big cross stitcher. So yeah, at the caravan trailer, whatever you want to call it, my supplies there are just cross stitching because they don't take a lot of room.
No.
Right? So if I was to take a project, I would take some floss, I would take my hoop, my instructions, and that's all I need. But if I was to go there and I wanted to make a card, I would need my die cutter, I would need my stamp wheel, I would need my stamps, my inks, and then I would have to take tons of inks because I didn't know what colours that I wanted to use, even though I would probably use the same colours I already use anyway, but I would take more just in case. I would need my blending tools. I would need stamp blocks. Even though I've got the stamp wheel, I still use my stamp blocks as well on it. So I tend not to pack them because I know I'd go crazy with them.
That's my fear is, there's really well outlined things that, you could possibly need for this. And then I'm thinking it's going to be kind of like the theory of the squirrel where, oh, wait, but they didn't mention this, but I'm sure they meant to. So we need to put this in the bag too. And that's my fear is I'm going to need a whole new suitcase for my panic of packing craft supplies. So because you're so scared of missing that one thing. Of course, it's always that one thing that you don't think about,
And also, if you are going to like a retreat and stuff and you do forget your scissors, there's going to be someone else there with scissors. let's not worry too much. Crafting is supposed to be about, relaxing and not stressing. And as soon as you start stressing, I don't think that you're getting the full effect of the craft session. So, yeah.
And we crafters are a friendly group. If you say, hey, I forgot my XYZ, like scissors, could I borrow some? Absolutely.
There would be like 10 of them handed to you at once.
And then you're like, whoa.
But you wouldn't need to worry.
Do you have anything you're excited to see in Syracuse outside of all the beautiful faces of our amazing Altenew participants?
See, I'm excited to see everyone. I am, but right, last time, and I told you about the bus journey, right? When we were on that bus journey, when we were going through, hopefully I don't need that bus journey. Let's just say, hopefully I don't need it. But when we were on that last time, me and Will seeing like deer and stags on the sides of the road. We don't see that. Okay, we're happy if we get a rabbit. If we see a rabbit or a fox, we're happy. But yeah, we don't see deers just wandering around by themselves, and that was nice. So if I see another one of that, I'll be happy.
Just a little wildlife. You're good. You're good with seeing a little wildlife.
I love some animals.
We see a lot. Like in Maine, we see a lot. It's so. And I think Syracuse is kind of similar in animal proportions.
I don't know. But obviously we won't see a turtle because they're my favorites, but
we have snappers here. We have snapping turtles. We have a lot of snapping turtles here.
They're angry.
They do, yeah. They're a little angry. They're angry little elves, as that's the quote from the movie says. Yes.
Yeah, they're a bit angry. Yeah, we don't. Obviously, we get like the foxes and the badgers and stuff, but they're all nocturnal things. We don't get to see those if you're sleeping at proper times. Yeah. We have a zoo, but it's not.
No, not when you can see them in their own habitat. It's more exciting to see them in their own kind of habitat, and it's what you expect because you see them on television and you're like, I wonder what they're really like, and so when you're just riding on a bus and they're hopping through the forest.
We were mesmerized by these deers at the side of the road. Everyone's like looking at us weirdly because obviously only British on the bus. And we're like, oh, look at us.
They're like, don't you have deer? And you're like, no.
Yeah, we do, but we don't see them. They're hidden.
It's exciting, and it's fun to hear what's exciting for folks coming in as well, because even in the States, in different areas of the States, you see different things and you interact with different things. So it's exciting to hear what's exciting for other people coming in to Syracuse and what they're excited to see there. I'm just excited to see some of Syracuse this time. Last time I went in literally the day before, late at night, at I think 1 a.m, and the thing started at 10. And then I left Sunday early. So I basically saw the airport. They have a very nice airport. But I'd like to see something else.
Didn't see it.
It's a lovely airport, Syracuse.
It was a train station. Train station was good. No, it wasn't a train station. It was a bus station.
So we know that their transportation systems are excellent in Syracuse, but be lovely to see, something different of Syracuse this time. So thank you so much for your thoughts on the retreat. And as you know, we have our game that we play now with the random word association. So I'm just going to come over and going to hit the button. And the first word is, yellow.
It's happy color, and I'm going to say my favorite yellow is the honey drizzle, but I'm loving the lemonade stand.
Oh, yes.
And that kind of ties in with the lemonade party as well, so I think I get double the gold star.
I think so, and it's a good circular connection. So then you get another bonus point for having the circular connection that goes through. Okay, and the next one is table.
Obviously, you need a table to craft, so,
that moved pretty quickly.
You need a table. We can put,
you are firing. Look at you go. Okay, and the last one is, this one's easy and sweet as well. Friendship.
Oh, see? So we made friends while crafting, me and Bridget in the virtual workshops. So yeah, just friendship makes the world go round, and crafting is a very good part to put in that machine to make it go.
And it's, I think too, with especially in this retreat, I mean, it's just a friend you haven't met yet. So if hopefully nobody's nervous about coming and having some crafty fun,
Nope.
But if you are nervous in any way, they're just a bunch of friends that you have not met yet, because you will leave there with new friends, guaranteed. Absolutely. This is just such a fun event. So it's just very unique and very, very fun. Well, thank you so much for joining us for a quick chat about the first in-person workshop that's been in a while. And we all wish you, I'm speaking now for the studio audience as well, we all wish you very wonderful connections and happy connections. You arrive safely and happily in the States to craft along with us. So thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you all next time in another amazing podcast with another fabulous guest. Thank you so much for allowing us to help you craft your life. Until next time, happy crafting.
Follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and everywhere you can find podcasts to keep up with every new episode. Shoot us an email at support@altenew.com with your feedback, and don't forget to craft your life.
Hello crafters, I hope you enjoyed that video. If you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. Thanks for watching.